Chapter 17. "Where are your glasses?" Donica asked Augie as they walked down the hall to the classroom after lunch. "In my pocket," Augie answered. "Put them on," Donica said, snapping her fingers at him. "But they're sunglasses," he pointed out. "Trust me, people in Hollywood always wear sunglasses, even when they're inside." "But we're not in Hollywood." Donica gave him her "don't cross me" look, something Augie had been seeing quite a lot of since Donica had become his manager. In order to avoid a confrontation, he put the sunglasses on. David and a couple of his jock buddies sidled over to them. "Hey, Augie," David said, "how about playing little b-ball with us after school? Maybe the newspaper will come and take our pictures." Augie was thrilled. "Brrrp, brrrp." "Stop brrrping," Donica demanded, grabbing Augie's arm. "How many times do I have to tell you that noise is annoying and weird? Trust me, Hollywood does not like annoying and weird." "What about it, Augie? Want to play ball with us?" asked David again. "You don't have to listen to everything old Bossy Face says." "Oh, yes, he does," said Donica. "And there is absolutely no way he can play basketball this afternoon." "Why not?" Augie asked, dismayed. "A, we have way too much work to do, and B, you might do something cloddy, like run into somebody and chip your teeth," Donica told Augie pointedly. So Augie reluctantly declined an invitation he'd been basically waiting for his whole life. After school, Donica insisted that Augie go with her to Selznick's department store. "You need some new clothes," she told him. "Well, what's wrong with the clothes I already got?" asked Augie. "You want to win, don't you?" said Donica. "Trust me, your clothes are too weird. And one other thing. You know that silly word you always say instead of yes?" "You mean yeppers?" said Augie. "What about it?" "People in Hollywood don't say yeppers. They just say yes. Understood?" "Yes," said Augie quietly, and he noticed the first small twinges of an uncomfortable pinching feeling in the pit of his stomach. Donica Perfecto's ideas about fashion boiled down to the complete opposite of everything Augie had ever worn. She'd picked out a pair of khaki pants and a navy blue polo shirt for him to try on. "I like stripes," Augie told her, "and checks, too." "No stripes," said Donica, "and absolutely no checks. Put these on and we'll go look for shoes. You'll need brown ones to go with your pants." "I've got some brown yarn," Augie told Donica. "Maybe I'll make some laces to go with my new shoes." "You're not going to wear homemade shoelaces on the show," said Donica. "I'm not?" asked Augie. He couldn't imagine wearing shoes without homemade laces in them. "No," said Donica, "because—" "People in Hollywood don't wear crocheted shoelaces?" guessed Augie. "True," Donica said, "but the main reason is because they look dumb." Augie was confused. "The other day you told me you loved them. Remember? You said, 'Love your shoelaces, Augie Cooter.'" "I was kidding," said Donica as they turned the corner and started up Toloma Street. Augie put his hand on his stomach. That uncomfortable pinching feeling was getting a little bit stronger. "What's the matter with you?" asked Donica, noticing Augie rubbing his stomach. "I'm not sure," said Augie. "You don't think my appendix is about to explode, do you?" Donica didn't answer. She was looking up at the street at Augie's house. "Whose car is that in your driveway?" she asked. Augie told her he didn't recognize it. "Well, if it's anybody important, call me," Donica said. "And remember—" "I know," Augie sighed, rubbing his stomach again. "No autographs, no photographs, no basketball, no shoelaces, no nothing." There were two men sitting in the living room with Mrs. Cooter when Augie walked in. Turk came charging over to jump on Augie and give him a welcome home face licking. "So this is the famous Augie Cooter everyone's been talking about," said the taller of the two men, rising in order to shake Augie's hand. He had on blue jeans and a white shirt with sleeves rolled up. On his feet he wore expensive-looking loafers and no socks. "I'm Bradley Mathis from H.T." "What's H.T.?" asked Augie. The man chuckled. Hidden talents. You have heard of the show, haven't you? Actually, none of us were familiar with your show until Augie got chosen to be on it, said Mrs. Cooter, smoothing the front of her purple skirt with her hand. You see, we don't own a television, Mr. Mathis. Mr. Mathis looked stunned. Do you mean to say you've never seen the show? He asked Augie. No, I haven't, said Augie. Does that mean I can't be on it? Are you kidding? Exclaimed Mr. Mathis. Our publicity people are going to love this. He pulled a pen out of his pocket. I brought some contracts for you and your parents to sign, and Jimmy here is going to snap a few photos. The other man unsnapped the black bag hanging from his shoulder and pulled out a camera. I'm not supposed to sign anything or have my picture taken without my manager here, said Augie, remembering Donica's rules. And I can't play basketball with you either. You have a manager? Mr. Mathis seemed surprised. That was fast. What agency? It's just the neighborhood girl, Mrs. Cooter explained. She's taken a sudden and rather surprising interest in Augie since you people came to town. Yeah, Augie said. She's the one who bought me these new clothes. I was wondering where those came from, said Mrs. Cooter, eyeing Augie's crisp new khaki pants. Actually, said Mr. Mathis, I was wondering about those clothes myself. Do you think I could talk to that manager of yours, Augie? Hang on, said Augie. I know how to get her over here fast. He walked over to the window, pulled it open, and leaned out. Donica! He shouted. Somebody's trying to take my picture. 2 seconds later, she was there.